Coaching on tracks, balling, linking paper like Phil. I'm Morpheus if real, my rhymes convict and heal. A world blind, my lines a red pill, real. Ball like I've been.
Bird, double. Dennis Johnson, 2 seconds. It's good. The game is over.
Henderson broken up. There's Bird again. Larry Bird with a steal. Henderson back to Bird. Beautiful.
Parrish playing with 5 fouls. Open is 8. Bird goes for 3.
Welcome to the Faithful Fan Show. I am your host, Tony Cook. I am joined today by a faithful Chicago Bear fan. You are a Chicago Bull fan as well, Matt?
I am a Chicago Bull fan as well.
Yeah, this is Matt Robinson. Y'all give it up. Y'all give it up. He came here to talk sports with me, and we're going to get right into it. Y'all seen that we had a Boston Celtic up. First up, before the show even started, why do I have a Boston Celtics highlights up?
That's because
he's nice. All right, he's nice. But Matt feels that Larry Bird is a better player all around, than Kevin Durant.
Facts.
I had to drop an episode just because this fool said that. So we're gonna get right to it. Matt, go ahead. Talk to me. How you feeling?
So let's let the audience know how this came about, right?
Please do.
Usually we hop on our phone calls and we just be wolfing about whatever. I think I was watching I had just watched one of the episodes, the Last Dance episodes. And I was like, boy, that boy Larry Bird, nice, right? And he was like, yeah, he was.
He was ice and Jordan in the beginning, dude.
You know what? And I was like, you ain't giving him enough credit. My boy better than KD. And I tell you, you probably dropped that phone. All I heard was like the phone drops. It went silent, and I was like,
so Larry Bird is nice, and he's honestly he's like Doncic, but in the post, like back in the day. He had a good court vision. He was in there mixing it up. He's very, very good, and he's very accomplished, has a lot of accolades, but Kevin Durant, dog, come on, man.
Think about this. We all talk about LeBron, right? And I'm not comparing Larry Bird to LeBron, but I say we have players like LeBron and Doncic today because of Larry Bird. Larry Bird he is the originator of that point forward position.
I agree with that.
And that transitioned into like Scottie Pippen, which transitioned into all the point forwards we got today. You know,
he doesn't get enough credit for being that almost stretch forward either. Like he doesn't get enough credit for that. I think it's because he was a small forward more so than a power forward. But he was in there getting rebounds. You know, he averaged 10 rebounds a game for his career. Like that's pretty crazy.
He hustled. He was a hustler, the ultimate hustler. And I will tell you this: a lot of people get it twisted, and they think because Kevin Durant is such a lethal scorer that makes him a great player. And I'm not saying he's not. But if we talking
he's one of the greatest scorers of all time, Matt.
He is. He definitely is. But if you look at the numbers and you look at it, Larry Bird put up similar point numbers as Kevin Durant.
I say what was it? 24 game.
Let me look. Hold on.
Like 24 game.
24 games. 24 games.
So Durant's 27.
That's one bucket. That's literally one shot.
Come on, man. You know the averages. It's different.
Exactly. You're right. And I'm going to say, let's talk numbers.
He's a different caliber type scorer is what I'm saying. Like, Larry Bird was Larry Bird probably better all-around player, but he's a Celtic, Matt.
It don't matter if he's
a Celtic.
And I'm a Bulls fan, and I can come on here and say,
I'm a Lakers fan, dog. You know I'm not about to.
You know what I mean? But this is the thing. If you think about it, Larry Bird scored 24 points, shooting mostly 2-point baskets. You know, back in the 80s, it wasn't 3-point. They weren't shooting 3 points at the volume they are today.
You're right.
So you put that in. Secondly, you add the type of defense that they were playing. It was a much more physical game back then. So you had to earn your points. Not to take away from the finesse and the skill that these players have today, but it's more volume points today. They score in bunches, whereas before it was more strategic. You know what I mean? Also with Larry Bird's Larry Bird played with 4 other Hall of Famers. 4 other Hall of Famers on that
so
squad.
Are you saying that helps? That helps the situation?
And he still put up 24 points. The ball was being moved around. You had 4 other Hall of Famers.
I guess you could say that, but you could also point that to how he had it a little easier than Kevin Durant's road to 2 championships as opposed to Larry Bird's 3. Kevin Durant, both times he's been fully healthy with a big 3, he's won a chip, right?
Yeah, but you sit there and say he had an easier road, but if you look at it, I say that Durant with the Warriors, how is that any different than Larry Bird with the Celtics?
It's
right?
not. I'm just saying Larry Bird had that almost throughout his whole career. Durant he had to hop shit. It sucks because that was kind of a punk move in history, but in hindsight, he had to do that to combat LeBron and the Spurs and everything he was going through on the West. And, it's just crazy.
I don't know if I agree with that because they came within, what was it, a minute and a half of beating the Warriors and advancing to the finals when they went 73-9.
With Harden and Westbrook.
You know what I mean? They went to the finals and they lost to LeBron when they ran into LeBron in the Heat. I think they were a young team. They weren't ready that year. They choked against Golden State. That team was built. If he would have stayed another 2, maybe 3 years, I think they would have got a trophy.
But we're talking about built to win a trophy against one of the greatest, one of the best teams in history before they even got Durant. Like that was they already had their big 3 in a sense. You know what I mean? Like that's a tough boat and then they had a young Harden. He wasn't quite ready. If they'd have kept that team together for a couple more years, maybe. But
they could have beat him. And not to take away from Durant because Durant went through a tear those playoffs, right? I think he averaged like 32, and the most Larry Bird ever averaged was 27 through the playoffs, right? So what I'm saying, though, the reason why I brought that up is because for his entire career, the ball was distributed a bunch more, and they're only a basket away. Yes. Only a basket away. You know what I mean?
So, and I agree. He did not have to jump ship. I don't think he had to go to the Warriors. But you still got to look at him. By the time his career is over, he's higher to me than Larry Bird in the top 10. And it's close. It's tooth and nail. It's close.
As of right now, they're 1 season difference, right? Bird played for 13. Durant's in 12 now.
Hey, looking at it like that, it's interesting. Yeah, hey, that's a good point, Matt. That's actually a good point.
Bird, except for his points per game, Bird is torching him in every other statistical category.
See, right? Now you're going crazy. He's going crazy, man.
Rebound. Tell me. Rebounds, Bird. Steals, Bird.
Okay, but Durant is such a more skilled offensive perimeter player than Bird.
How can you say
and he's taller than Bird. So honestly, he's probably better defending the rim than Bird.
No.
Durant's playing against better athletes right now. You gotta take all this into account, Matt.
Hold on. I like that you brought up the better athletes, right? We all trust Bleacher Report. We all think Bleacher Report and what they say comes out as pretty solid facts, right? We kind of take that as facts. If you go on Bleacher Report right now and have them rate all the decades of basketball, which was the best?
90s.
Of course, 90s is the best. Guess who number 2 is? The 80s.
Is it
really? It is the 80s where Larry Bird thrived. Yes, the players are more athletic today, right? They are definitely more athletic today. It's a more space-oriented game today.
Yes.
Back then, it was a more strategic game because players were a little bit more physical. They were smarter players back then. We cannot deny that they were smarter, more fundamentally
less on athleticism back in the 80s. I could agree with that.
So when you have everybody on the court who's a little bit smarter basketball player, a little bit more physically apt, to play the game, and you're still putting up numbers and doing the things you do. We ain't boxing out today. When was the last time you seen somebody box out, right? Nobody's boxing out.
Which is why Larry Bird averaged 10 rebounds for his career, because they wasn't, man, come on.
They was
so what you want me to say now? You want me to say you won the argument? We can do this for an hour right now.
I want you to just go ahead and say, you know what? KD has not surpassed Larry Bird yet. I'm not saying he won't.
And it's fair to say because his career's not over. It's fair to say.
He's got about 3 or 4 more prime years.
Yeah, I'd say that too.
I say at this point right now, we cannot take the crown from Larry Bird yet.
When we cut to break, I'm gonna play some KD highlights too, just so everyone can get a taste.
Play them back to back. You know what I mean? I think it is, people be forgetting because the resolution of the images back then weren't that good, so they think the players wasn't that good.
Larry Bird's highlight of his career was him a steal and an assist for a game. That's his highlight of his career, Matt. Stop it. You know I'm about to play these KD highlights and swamp it.
That's because that was at the biggest moment. But my boy was y'all saw it. My boy was torching him back in the
He was. Hey, okay, but we got to switch subjects. We got to switch. So we're gonna go to some current NBA updates. As we already know, the NBA is back or should be back, and it should start up July 30th in Orlando. It sounds like it's about to be a cruise type atmosphere. These fools about to have, arcades set up and movie theaters, all quarantine, all to the players and stuff.
Yes.
It's about to be crazy, dude.
But they're going to be isolated in their rooms. You saw the room. Nobody can go to nobody else's rooms. But y'all
got to do it one at a time.
Yeah. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, you can go play on the court together. Y'all can go play video games and do all that. But at the end of the night, y'all can't go link up, watch footage.
Yeah,
you got to do that on Zoom.
But it's dope that they also get to go to each other's games. That's going to be kind of sick. Like, I've heard that the players are going to get to watch each other's games. Like, they get access to the games. Like, that's pretty dope.
It's going to be like different. Summer League. I think it's going back to like the, growing up, all of us play basketball. We all play Summer League. You be in a gym, and it's like 40 other teams in there. I think that's cool. I think that's real cool. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of interested on
some
how
people are not excited, though, bro. Some people are not. Kyrie Irving is not excited. Why you don't want to? Hey, and you know what's funny? He lost me. He's not even invited. Kyrie Irving is hurt. They ain't even invited him to Orlando. The hurt players don't get to go. I think this is all because he don't get to go anyway. Like, honestly, like, that's me.
I think, but Kyrie's always been outspoken like that. Remember a couple of years ago, he was talking about the earth is flat.
Yeah, man. He's always on the other. Yeah.
And then I know when when Kobe passed, rest his soul.
Rest his soul.
He came out here talking about, I could have got Kobe one-on-one. He's just always, I know it was in fun and jest and all that, but he's just always been spoken out.
It's like the timing was bad for that comment.
So, and I think it's just the same as this one. Kyrie being Kyrie, he's going to speak his mind, whether it's politically correct or not.
Yeah, and I think players are going to play on. Players are going to play on because LeBron said so. Patrick Beverly got on a tweet. You reminded me. He got on there and said, if the king says we're going to play, we're going to play. You know what that lets me know? He's ready to get it on. He want to play LeBron James. He's ready for the playoffs to start.
I was about to say, Patrick Beverly is basically a UFC fighter in the NBA. He a boxer in the NBA. He's doing everything for the hype. He knows that we need more attention on the NBA. We need that rivalry to spark up because a lot of people forgot. A lot of people forgot. The last weekend we had an NBA was that Clippers-Celtics. That Clippers-Celtics duel in LA, where unfortunately the Lakers won, but it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
But since we're here, do you like the format? Do you like the format and the play-in game and all that stuff?
I think it's cool. It's kind of weird that the imbalance is kind of weird because the East, there's only a couple teams vying for that 8th spot, and on the West you got like what 8 or what is it, like 18?
Yeah,
no, it's 6. I think it's like 6 teams fighting for that 8th seed. It's kind of interesting. I think it's cool. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
Do you think the way that it's going to play though is it's those 8 seeded teams? Do you think they're already at a disadvantage, right?
Yes.
Do you think that the volume of games they're playing in a short amount of time is going to affect the seeding? Do you think we're going to get quality playoffs is basically what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, I think the break for a lot of these players that are aging, which are the ones that are going to deal with the wear and tear during the playoffs, they got a nice little break. Now, will that hurt? I hope everyone gets a nice little month or month and a half to get back in basketball shape. Yeah. Like, I'm glad. That's why people ask, like, why are they starting July 30th? These fools got to get to training camp and get in shape. Like, to prevent all these little injuries from rushing back into it, I think as long as, I think the precaution has been taken by starting July 30th. Yeah, I think we're good, dude. I think we're good. Honestly.
I think those 22 games are not going to be what we expect. I don't think it's going to be good basketball. Those 22.
You think we're about to lose high-profile players to injury?
I think so. Giannis said he don't even got a gym.
Not the king, not LeBron.
Like, Giannis don't got a gym. He ain't been doing nothing but push-ups and holding his baby for, like, the last 4 months, right? So you think Giannis about to come out here, his style of game's not going to play? You think he's just going to shut –
but that's honestly up to the coaches. If you think about it, that's up to the coaches because the coaches got to know how to maintain that and play their players with a load management, with it in-game load management, not sitting players out. But it'll be interesting to see how they adapt. It'll probably be a lot more bench play. You know what I mean? Usually the bench in the playoffs is like 7 players. they're going to extend that to like 10. You know what I mean?
How many games do you think LeBron's going to sit out of the first 22?
I think because they have pretty much the first seed wrapped up. If they play like 8 games before the playoffs?
Yeah.
I think he'll sit half those games. I think may play like the first 4 or so, or maybe sit the first.
No, I see him sit in the beginning.
Sit in the first 4,
play
maybe,
the first 2
and then
sit
to
in the
ramp
middle
up for the playoffs. I see him missing half those first 4 games. LeBron is specifically because as soon as the playoff starts, you're playing a game every other night for for a month or more.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we'll see. But
yeah.
With all that, we're going to get to our first break. We had a long first segment. Me and Matt got a lot to talk about. We're going to get to NFL when we get back. Faithful Fan Show. Thank you for joining us.
Achieving Colt status right now in Dallas after his last 2 performances. Durant, and a foul. Kevin Durant throws it down, gets hit, and he'll get a chance for a 3-point play.
My goodness, Kevin Durant off the out-of-bounds play says to Brendan Haywood, excuse me, I got an appointment with the rim. You're in his poster, big fella.
Shot clock at 5. Kevin Durant way outside. Delivers! Kevin Durant from downtown. It's a 6-point game.
Cephalosha will throw in. Here is Durant for the win! Kevin Durant has won it! An easy shot. It's well behind the 3-point line. But when you're 6'10" with long arms and you've got that elevation and you're a big-time player.
Welcome back to the Faithful Fan Show. I'm here with Matt Robinson. We're here talking sports, basketball, football. We're going to get into the football part of it. As we know, and as I already talked about, Matt is a faithful Chicago Bear fan, and he knows a lot more than me about what their offseason progressions have been. I'm gonna let him get right into it. What have been their ups and downs of the offseason? I'm gonna let you touch on it before I say anything.
Okay, let's jump in with the Bears. Let's just talk the top. I think our biggest thing coming into the offseason is we needed we let go some veteran players in the secondary, right? So we needed to kind of shore up our secondary. I think, me personally, we had 2 things that we needed to really do. We needed to address the quarterback position.
Okay.
Right?
You said
quarterback position.
Okay. All right.
QB, we needed to address that. And then we needed to kind of shore up the back end of our defense, like our secondary, right?
Yes.
We all know.
Y'all got a solid safety, though, don't like?
Yes, we do, but we needed another one. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Eddie Jones was out there balling.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's out there balling, but we let go of Clinton Dix to let him walk. He was.
Hey, welcome to Cowboy Nation, haha.
So, but we picked up Gibson, right? We picked up Tayshaun Gibson. I think that was a good move for us. He's a veteran player. He likes to come down in the box. He's really physical.
Okay.
He fits kind of what we do on defense. Everybody knows we're gonna get after you. Our front 7 is really good. Our pass rush is
so he can play in the box while Eddie Jones plays a free safety role.
Yeah, we let him roam, and I think that's what we kind of wanted Clinton Dix to do, is kind of come down and play in the box and pick up tight ends, so we could allow our playmaker to be a playmaker. But it kind of just didn't work out the way. I don't necessarily think it was Dix's fault. Most of the time, if you go back and look, we had a lot of injuries. We didn't get the pass rush that we needed, especially when Akeem Hicks went down.
Yeah,
that really hurt us a lot. And we had a lot of injuries in the linebackers, so we're a little bit slower than we were the year before.
Okay.
However, I feel like the defense balled out because the offense didn't put them in a lot of good situations. We didn't score points. We didn't move the ball. Our defense was playing with a lot of.
In a year where they were expected to be pretty dope with the new offense and everything, was it just too much on Trubisky's shoulders last year? Is that what it was?
I don't think so, right? I don't think everybody was so hyped because we did well the first year. Right, or the first year with Matt Nagy.
Yeah.
But if you go back and you look at it, right, and this is football. Football is every team wins and loses by 3 or 4 different plays. The first year we made 3 or 4 plays that we didn't make in year 2. But I think it wasn't necessarily that Trubisky regressed. I think he was the same quarterback in both years.
Okay.
Right? The problem is when teams have an offseason to look at your scheme and to look at what you're doing and to really kind of work with you or sort of
they develop a game plan against you. They did the same thing to Dak Prescott, man. This is his second year. You know what I mean?
And so I think all the red flags that everybody had with Trubisky, we all saw. Secondly, I think Matt Nagy got a little too confident, right? If you look at the play calling, we got rid of Jordan Howard. I think Jordan Howard
got rid of the ground and pound.
Right. We was able to move the chains or wear defenses down late in the game to help Trubisky keep the pass rush off him, keep the defensive line off of him. So Trubisky could stand in the pocket and make throws, right? We also moved him outside of the pocket a lot last year. We did a lot of movement. There was a lot of movement, misdirection, all those things, which we didn't do. It was like Matt Nagy said, "Okay, we're gonna stand. We're gonna play this way, right? This is how I want to play. This is what I wanted you to be last year. I kind of slowed you into it, but now I want you to do. We got rid of our ground and pound. We had very small running backs. David Montgomery, I think he's going to be a really good player.
Yes.
He had a great rookie year, but we also didn't use him the way that I was expecting to.
Now, would you call him more of a between the tackles running back or sideline to sideline, you know what I mean, get around the corner type?
I think you can use him between the tackles. He doesn't have that speed to be like, to get around the corner and that. He's a bruiser. If you looked at him at in college, Ohio State, right? Not Ohio State, Iowa State.
Iowa State, yes.
He played with his pad level low. He got into the tackles, played with his pad level low. He trucking people, all of those things. Matt Nagy gets him. He wants to use him as more of like a scat back. I want to throw him passes out of the backfield, or I want to run him on routes.
Matt Nagy got too cute. Got too cute last year.
100%. 100%.
Got too cute.
So everybody's talking about we got Nick Foles, right? We went out and got Nick Foles.
That's another thing we got to get to. Like, and Nick Foles is known for this. He's known for coming into locker rooms and winning them from the current quarterback. Do you have worries about that with the Chicago Bears and the?
I think Nick Foles is the starter, right? I think he's going to be the starter, not because I want him to be the starter. I think he is the better player. Nick Foles is great, but he's streaky, right?
Yeah.
When we have a championship caliber for defense, we need more than a streaker quarterback. Oh my gosh, everybody's like, but he beat New England in the playoff.
That's why it worked though when he didn't have a full sample size. He came in for a little bit with the Philadelphia Eagles both times.
Right, exactly. And then when he got down to Jacksonville, I know he got hurt. Then when he came back, it was so-so. He lost his job to Gardner Minshew. The only reason why Jacksonville made that trade was because they're comfortable with Minshew. Yeah. Right. So obviously he's not a franchise quarterback. So for us to pay the money and bring him in like that, it doesn't make sense. There's other options out there that we
unless they're sold on him and they know they want him to be the.
Well, we hired Bill Lazor, right? And we all know as our offensive coordinator, Bill Lazor is the reason why Foles had success in Philadelphia. The year that he went, everybody talks about, he went 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That was under Bill Lazor. The issue I have with that is neither one of them have seen success after that season. Like real success, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I know Foles came in and won. Don't yell at me, guys. Foles came in and won the trophy. Yes, he did. I give him that. But after that, what has he done? He hasn't done much. Same with Bill Lazor. Bill Lazor went down to Miami, got fired in less than a year. He went over to Cincinnati as a quarterback's coach.
You saying that was lightning in the bottle, Matt? You saying Nick Foles is lightning in the bottle?
I'm saying that whatever they were able to, like, everybody knows football is about schemes, right?
Yeah.
It's schemes and personnel. And I think in Philadelphia, they had the right scheme, the right personnel at the right time for that to happen.
Yeah.
We're not built the same way that Philadelphia was that year. So I don't know if we can expect this. I'm not expecting the same results. I'm not saying Nick Foles is bad, but I don't think Nick Foles is about to come in here and just light it up.
Now, let's get this clear. You think the front office, Nick Foles is their guy, but you're saying you don't agree with that.
Yes.
Okay, got you. I just wanted to know where we stood with that. So, dang, that's really interesting. So you think Mitchell Trubisky, they're going to put him on the shelf for a year and see what this Nick Foles action is?
I think Trubisky's gone, and it makes sense.
Wow,
right?
really?
Ryan Pace is a.
They paid for him in the draft?
Yeah, but everybody knows if you miss on your quarterback, that's your job, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Ryan Pace doesn't have the time to let Mitchell to find out if Trubisky's going to grow or this is who he is. He doesn't have that time. So he went out, made an aggressive move, got Nick Foles, so that I believe he's a bridge quarterback, right? I think the Bears are going to be looking for another quarterback, especially if we don't go deep in the playoffs. We'll be looking for somebody else in the draft to develop, because if Pace were to stay with Trubisky one more year and we were to underperform, everybody's gone. Yeah. And we have too much money and too many good players in the prime of their team, prime of their years right now for that to happen. We got to win right now.
Trubisky's the scapegoat. Wow.
Yeah, we
That's
have to
crazy.
win now. We spend a lot of money on the defense, right? And we have a lot of studs on the defense. Football is your window of opportunity is this small in football. So we have to take advantage of that now. I don't like it that we brought Nick Foles in because of the salary cap implications. Had we got him on his original deal before he signed with Jacksonville, cool, great signing. Be the bridge quarterback.
Yeah, that was a pretty penny this time around.
We're paying him franchise money. Trubisky is still on his rookie deal. We didn't take his 5th-year option. So it's like when he doesn't win the job, or because he's not, when he doesn't win the job, for us to let him walk, is cool.
I hear you. So interesting take. I wasn't expecting that from you, Matt. I was expecting you to have your man Mitch Trubisky's back a little more than that. But hey, moving on to Nick Foles, he's won a chip.
Yeah.
We're going to get on to other news that's happened since the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke Elliott has tested positive for COVID. This is really, I don't know how to take this because he said he's fine and doing better. I guess he was sick earlier in the week and he's better now and he's in quarantine recovering. But what does that say for the rest of the team? There's a lot of other players, but I guess he's just the most notable player that's been tested and tested positive. So, yeah, man, this is kind of a scare. It lets you know a little bit about, like, what would this look like if we got going. And let's say Zeke got it when the league first week of the season. What's that look like? He misses the next 2 games? Like, kind of scary.
Yeah, he'd have to, I think what it says more so is when you got high-profile players like that are getting it, it kind of moves the needle or moves the date when we're going to start.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Cowboys could not start a camp right now. Or they could if they were willing to let, I think, 6 players that are on the roster?
6 players at a time for workouts and stuff. It's real interesting. But get it how you got to get it. I mean, if they can make football games happen, I don't know how. It's crazy because football has so many more players involved, so many more people, so much more staff.
Right.
You're talking about 44 active players that are touching the field, touching each other every game.
That's why when you have high-profile players that have it, right now, it kind of just moves it back. Right now, it's just the Cowboys, right? How many other teams are affected?
That's what I'm saying. That's the first player that they've leaked because he's the most notable player to catch COVID, but it's really crazy to look at. And they were talking about on the radio, football may not
come back. Yeah.
If they start
looking more and
it
more.
may not finish the season. You know what I mean? Like, unless everyone says F it, but that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, and players aren't going to be down for that. This may not even get off the ground. Sad times. I mean, I would love a football season to happen, but that's bad news, honestly. I don't like how that looks.
I think they're so far away. There's a lot. You're hearing word about second wave starting in August, starting September, right?
Yeah, dude. And they're talking about flu season being when everything kicks up.
Yeah,
it's just it's hopefully players and the billions of dollars that they put into that they make from this NFL, they can make it a safe environment for the players. That's what I'm hoping, and keep it going long enough to maybe get some games. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like they would start up, and one player from every team would get it, and every single team would have to shut down.
Yeah, and all of this is wild because it also makes me think of, like, with the contract discussions that are going on with your boys.
Yeah.
How much of this is playing an impact on it? The fact that there may not be a season, there may be a bridge season,
Dude, if I'm Dak, personally, I can't speak for another man's pockets. I would never. But if I were Dak Prescott, my calculated opinion would be to take the money right now. 5-year deal. You know what I'm saying? All the guaranteed money. I get what you're saying. You've been They haven't given you your due just up until this point because of your original rookie draft status and everything. Get your money while you can, man. We don't know where this league's gonna go. We don't know if there's even gonna be a season. Right. I'd sign that contract. That's just me, bro.
But let's say you sign the contract. Let's say he does have. Let's say they are close on more money, right? You sign the contract on an abridged season. You get hurt. Now you just missed out on a lot of money too.
Yeah. This is true. This is true. Because
So-
you only get money if you hit the field. I hear you.
Right.
I hear you on that.
Right. So it's like, I understand
It's a tough call, bro. And Cowboys, honestly, both sides are playing it the right way. That's why it's hard to get mad at Dak or Jerry. Because honestly, Jerry's doing what he got to do. He signed up all of his valuable players long term, except Dak. Dak's sitting there waiting, like, let me get all the scrapings off the bottom of the barrel. Let me get all of it.
Yeah,
they'll get the deal done. 5 years?
They'll get it done.
I think so too. I think so too. With that being said, this has been a nice episode, Matt. Thank you so much for joining me, dog. This has been amazing. Everyone, thank you. The Faithful Fan Show. Thank you, my subscribers, my viewers. Until next time. Yes.
Rookie in the paint, going hard with the venom. Shot so much, man, I think I need a leg. Rookie in the paint, going hard with the venom. Shot so much, man, I think I need a leg. Animal, MC Cannibal, rap Hannibal. Here to take